you want to know a little bit more about who I am and what's led me to starting this channel and what it's all about, please check out my first video, which is just a welcome to the channel. But today is the first in a series of videos that I'm quite excited to be bringing to you, which is called Medicine Mondays. Now, on that first video, I let you know that I'll be uploading videos on a Monday and a Friday. And on the Monday videos, I wanted this to be a space for us to speak about all things medicine, all things health, and really, in the first instance, these videos are going to be some of the most common things that I see in general practice, the most common complaints that my patients have, or some things I feel like the public out there don't understand quite so well. And so that's, in the first instance, that's the first few videos. But I'm hoping that over time we'll start to engage more and that you can ask me any questions that you have. If there's a burning topic that you just need to know, please let me know, and that's what this space is all about. The aim of Medicine Mondays is to educate, empower and equip you with the knowledge you need to live your healthiest life. Today's first video is all about tiredness. So today we're going to be talking about tiredness. I've been thinking about what our first topic should be, and tiredness just kept coming up because, to be honest with you, it is the number one thing that my patients complain to me about. I don't think, and I might be incorrect, I've not done any audits or anything, but I don't think I've had a day in general practice where I haven't had a patient come to me and complain about how tired they're feeling. The fact of the matter is that we live really busy lives, and often, when you're overdoing it, you can start to feel quite tired. But there are quite a few reasons as to why people feel this tiredness all the time. And only one set of those reasons are actually a disease process. A lot of them have to do with the kind of lifestyle that we have. And so today I want to discuss with you the 7 most common reasons for feeling tired all the time. So number 1, what goes hand in hand with tiredness is of course sleep. And the number 1 cause for tiredness is because we're having a lack of sleep. As you can see here, this is a table showing the amount of sleep in hours that you should be getting depending on your age. As a newborn, they're doing a lot of growing, developing, learning, and so they need to sleep a lot, 17 hours in fact a day. Whereas as you get older, the amount of sleep you need, it decreases, but most adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day. The amount of people that I know aren't getting this, maybe they're going to bed at midnight, waking up at 6 in the morning, and they're only getting 6 hours. Some people are only getting 4 hours of sleep at night. And a lot of people feel when you're young that you can manage it. The amount of people I've spoken to you said, I need 4 to 5 hours sleep a night and then I can keep going. But there is something called a sleep debt. And if you're not getting the amount of sleep that you need on a consistent basis, you might feel fine for a couple of days or even manage for a few weeks, but you start to feel burnt out and this tiredness all the time starts to creep in. There are lots of other reasons why people struggle to sleep though. It's not just that people can't be bothered or they've just got busy things to do. Often I have patients coming to me complaining about problems falling asleep or waking up through the night or waking too early in the morning. And there are ways in which you can improve your sleep life. And I think this should be probably another video because there's quite a lot to it. And if you'd be interested in seeing that video, please give it a thumbs up and I can make sure to put it onto the calendar. So the second cause of tiredness that a lot of us experience is too much stress or feeling quite overwhelmed. A lot of us work very busy lives. We have a lot of responsibilities, children, family, parents, and also the stresses of work. Maybe you're in a high-powered job, maybe you're struggling looking for work, but all of these can increase our stress levels. And when we're feeling more stressed on a continuous basis, our stress hormones can increase as well. It puts our body into overdrive. We're starting to become overworked, we can become overwhelmed in our mind, and that can also lead to tiredness. So have a look in your life. Are there some stressors? Are you going through some time where you're feeling very anxious or quite uptight about anything? Because that could be adding to why you're feeling tired all the time. Now, number 3 is all about how we fuel our body. If we aren't getting the right nutrients, then we can often start feeling quite lethargic and just not having enough energy. What we put into our bodies is just so important. Now, there are certain things, if you're lacking in them, can lead to deficiencies in our body. Most of the vitamins and minerals and salts that we need come from our diet. For example, iron and vitamin C, vitamin B. These are all things that come from our diet. Folic acid as well is one of them. And if you're not getting enough of these things into your body, then you can become deficient in some of these vitamins and minerals, and that can lead to your body not functioning properly and making you feel quite lethargic or just lacking in energy. The key to it is having a balanced diet, making sure that you're having a mixture of complex carbohydrates, green leafy vegetables, and actually having a really colourful plate is important. Having fruit, vegetables, carbohydrates, enough protein, all comes together to making sure that you have a healthy diet. If you find yourself having takeaways every night, or off to McDonald's, or your plate always looks very brown and bland, you're probably not getting all the nutrients that you need. This again, like sleep, is another big topic. And there's things that I said in this, such as complex carbohydrates, that you might be thinking, Dr. Amanda, what even is that? And this is again another video that I'd be interested in doing if that's something that you would want. So leave a comment down below, like the video, and I'll know if you're interested in that. Now, in addition to the food that you put into your body as well, you need to think about what fluids we put into our body. Being dehydrated means that the cells in our body, which are part of every single organ system that we have, aren't getting enough hydration. And if the cells in our body aren't hydrated enough, then they don't work as well. And when they don't work as well, we also start to feel sluggish and start to feel tired. Our body is made up of 60% water. We need to stay hydrated so that we can function. And a baseline to think about how much you should drink, because I do get asked this, I usually say about 2 litres a day for the average adult. But if you're someone that's quite active and you do sport or you sweat a lot, you're losing more fluid, and that means you need to drink more. If you're pregnant or you're breastfeeding, also more fluid is being taken away from you, and that means you need to drink more. In addition to having enough hydration, we also need to think about other fluids we're putting into our body, and this is when I'm talking about caffeine. Now, often to get along with our busy lives, we find ourselves drinking coffee, tea, having sugary drinks or caffeinated fizzy drinks such as Coke to try and give us that boost and keep us going. But it can sometimes have a detrimental effect. So having a diet where you're having lots of caffeine, your body will start to rely on that as its fuel source. And so when you're having times where you're having dips in energy because you're out of caffeine, suddenly you start feeling tired because your body isn't used to functioning at the level it needs to without having that crutch of caffeine. Now, some people may choose to cut it out completely, or you may just need to cut it down. Say you're having 4 cups of coffee a day, reduce that to 3 or 2 or even 1. Do that on a gradual basis because your body's probably quite dependent on it, and you don't want to suddenly have this crash or start having headaches. But that's one area to look at. Now, number 4 is all about the amount of exercise that we do. In the past, years ago, the majority of our jobs that people worked were quite active ones. Maybe they were labourers or things where they had to use their hands and had to do a lot of walking and laborious jobs. And so we're saying active all the time. Whereas now that there's been a big shift in the kind of work that we do. Often we're sat at the desk all day. I'm no exception to the rule. All day long I sit here and I see patients, or I speak to them on the phone, I look at blood results and call different doctors and specialties. And if you want to see a bit more what my day in the life is like, I will be doing videos like that as well. But I spend a lot of time at my desk, as do a lot of the population. If we find that we're being more sedentary or sitting down just constantly, it tells our body that we don't need to have as much energy. And we can get into that routine of just feeling so tired and lethargic because we're not doing anything. The more we do, the more active that we can be, trying to find a sport that you're interested in, doing exercise, walking to and from work, those things, it helps our body to keep moving. That way our body will give us more energy because it sees that we actually do need it. On the other hand, there are some people that are doing too much exercise, and that is why they're feeling tired. There are some people that are working out every day for hours at a time, and often doing that, although it sounds like it's a healthy thing to do, it actually can be quite tiring and detrimental to the body if you don't give your body a break and a rest that it needs to recuperate. So if you're someone that's doing quite physical activity 7 days a week and you find yourself feeling really tired, it might just be that your body needs some time to rest and to rebuild and recuperate. Having at least 1 to 2 rest days a week is actually ideal. I understand that sometimes you might be working towards a big goal such as a marathon or a triathlon or some kind of event where you might need to work out every day. And for short periods of time, your body can handle that. But if this is something that's prolonged, it just means your body's going to wear out and you should give yourself a break. The 6th reason is a growing body. Now, most of us when we get to adulthood, we've stopped growing, but there is a small sector of people that will continue to, or will have time from their life where they are growing a bit more. And what I'm talking about there is pregnancy. If you're a woman and you suddenly find that you're feeling really tired, wanting to nap in the daytime, it might be time to take a pregnancy test, as that is another reason for feeling tired. Also, in children, teenagers, when they are going through growth spurts, you may find that they're sleeping a bit more or they seem a bit more lethargic. That's a normal process. Because the body is growing, they need to have more time to rest so that these growths can happen. And the 6th reason I wanted to speak about is more about the enjoyment that you're getting out of life. There are a lot of people who aren't finding much challenge in what they do day to day. It may be from work or from their relationships, or maybe even because they don't have any hobbies. And when we're not stimulating our minds and challenging ourselves or finding something that we really enjoy and we're passionate about, often we can start to feel unmotivated and disheartened, and that can lead to symptoms similar to tiredness. So it might be a good opportunity if you're feeling lethargic or just not quite yourself, not quite motivated, have a look. Are you doing things that are challenging you? Are you doing things to bring enjoyment to your life? Now, the 7th reason for feeling tired all the time is actually a disease. Maybe there really is something going on. Maybe it's not just that you're not sleeping enough or that you're too stressed out. Maybe there's a disease process going on. And the most common ones are anemia, thyroid disease, diabetes, celiac disease, and in some people it may be something as devastating as cancer. If you find that you've looked into all these other 6 elements and you can't find a reason for why you're feeling so tired all the time, or if it's to the point where you really can't function properly or you're struggling to get out of bed in the morning, it might be time to come and see your GP. And when you come and see us to talk about these things, we can do some tests, and it usually starts off with blood tests to look for any of these kind of symptoms. So that is something to look out for. And like I said, this is the most common symptom or most common complaint that my patients come to talk to me about. We're here to hear it, we deal with it every day, so don't be afraid to come and see us, especially if you can't pinpoint why you're feeling so tired. So that in a nutshell is what I wanted to say about tiredness. Today we've spoken about 7 reasons why you might be feeling tired all the time. These are things that you can look into yourself to take your health into your own hands. Try and change some of your lifestyle. It might be that you need to have more sleep, that you're only getting 6 hours a night. It may be that there's stress in your life that you need to change, or you need to find more enjoyment. But if you are still struggling, even despite this, and you're really finding that it's affecting you day to day, come and see your GP. You know what kind of things that they might be looking for. And as we go forward through these Medical Mondays, there are going to be more conditions that I speak about that do have tiredness as one of the main symptoms. And so hopefully you'll be able to gain a bit more knowledge about that so that you can live your healthiest life. Thanks for watching. I hope this was useful. Please share, like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and comment down below so that we can start having a conversation.